Arsenal have bid £50 million for Noni Madueke. Let's get into this. Yes, you heard right and you're reading right from Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal have submitted a bid for Noni Madueke. Now, upon hearing this news, the Arsenal fan base, we have gone into meltdown from what I can see online. And I kind of see why it is, because yet again, it's what, 6 out of 7 seasons or whatever it may be that we've bought a player from Chelsea. But putting that aside, it's a massive financial outlay that we're putting towards Noni Madueke. See, Madueke, for all intents and purposes, is only really being signed realistically to be a rotation player to Bukayo Saka. Obviously, the guy got injured last season. We ran him into the ground. We need someone to cover for him. So one problem is that you're paying £50 million for a rotation player. That's a lot of money to be spending on a rotation player, which leads to another worry for the Arsenal fan base, which is that we don't currently see Ethan Nwaneri being announced as signing a new contract. One of the things that is being reported is that he wants a guarantee or some sort of nod as to what kind of minutes he'll get next season. Now, with this point, I do think there is some logic that can be applied to why Madueke has been the choice. Because one of the things that I have seen and read, according to The Athletic, is that Eze, Morgan Rogers and also Noni Madueke were subject to interest from Arsenal, but it's Madueke that potentially I think has been landed on, because let's say we signed Eze as someone that could play on the wing but also play in the left 8. That potentially blocks the pathway for Ethan Nwaneri. That's the only logic I can see as to why we didn't go for him. It also remains to be seen if we actually do go back in for him, because that could be a possibility, but I don't know. But even with that, that's £50 million again on a rotation player, and we have been teased with these potential transfers. So £50 million going out to Noni Madueke could potentially kill any kind of hope of these two transfers even occurring, or even one of them. But I'd like to be proven wrong on that. I'm really hoping. Look, when it comes to Noni Madueke, I think the profile player is great. The profile. Do I think he's done enough to garner the price tag and the amount of interest at that price tag that we're giving it? The answer is no, not necessarily, but it looks like that's what we're going to be doing. So personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this transfer, but I'm not going to be one of those people that rubbishes a player that ultimately, if he signs for us, I'm not going to hold it against him, and I'm not going to wish him to do poorly at the club. I want our players to do well, even if we don't necessarily want those transfers. But this has been a surprise for everyone, and these are just my opinions on it, but I want to know what yours are. So let me know what your opinions on Madueke to Arsenal